Hello everyone, this is Agony333, and today's movie review is over the 1979 film, The Warriors. It is a movie that is an hour and 32 minutes, it is an action crime thriller, and it is kick fucking ass, as well as the game, because yes, this movie was also adapted into a game from Rockstar Games, and that'll probably be another thing I talk about quite abundantly in this review and stuff, not just the film, but the game as well. But let's get into this fucking awesome, underrated game and film. Alright, so yeah, the first thing is, obviously, as you can maybe tell already, I adore this movie and the game. I mean, even more so I'd say the game, but the movie is a classic. It's a fucking great movie. But what makes it great? Well, the music in this film is all really great music from the era, the style and everything. And that's another thing I'll be getting into, the trivia that I put here. There were basically like 84 different gangs conceptualized and put in, they weren't all featured in the film, but there were 84 different ones that the filmmakers made for this film. And that's just crazy amount of creativity. And that's another thing I was going to put here is, the music and style is cool as fuck in this movie, but it also has a huge abundance of creativity in, all of that was made for it. But it's also based on a novel. It's another one that's based on a book. But what's also cool is I had heard about it for quite a number of years from different things. But this movie basically helped me discover the band Biohazard, which is really fucking good. I recommend that. I've been really enjoying their music and stuff. So yeah, this movie also helped me discover that badass band Biohazard. But another thing is, yeah, the thing I'll say here is while this movie is very good, the in particular thing that I would go out to mention is the game. The game is a very underrated one in Rockstar's catalog because, I've played and talked about quite thoroughly. Manhunt is a really great series. I've mentioned Bully, obviously Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead and stuff. All great, amazing fucking games because Rockstar Games makes great, amazing games. But the one that's always overlooked that I hardly hear anything about is The Warriors. And it's a hidden gem of a game that was made, in the PS2 days and stuff like that. But it's on PSN and stuff, and I highly recommend you check it out. Let me get into the summary so you actually know what it's about, what, the film and game is also fucking about. Basically, it's about a gang called the Warriors, and they're attending this meeting with over 20,000 different gang members and all these gangs and stuff. And pretty much there is a group and a leader of one in particular that is trying to unite them all and make them into, an unstoppable force. But sadly, he is killed early on in the film and stuff. And immediately, the crime is pretty much pegged on the Warriors, and they have to pretty much fight their way through all of New York City back to Coney Island into safety and survive. And so, yeah, it's a really thrilling, compelling story. And, in both adaptations, game and movie, it's just really crazy. It's really intense. Like I said, it lives up to that thriller category in there. But let me see what else I can really... Okay, the fight scenes, that's also what makes this really good, is the fight scenes are just really badass and handled well. They're, mostly fist fights and melee fights and stuff, but they're all really kick-ass. And, another thing, like I said, the soundtrack is good. I really love the ending theme song in the city and stuff. I've always loved the soundtrack to this, as well as just everything else, the gang members and stuff like that, because the game fleshes those things out more. And that's what I'll also say on why I feel like the game is actually superior than the film in this case. And that's another thing, is oftentimes you find that, the game adaptation either doesn't live up to the film, or, maybe it's serviceable, but it's not ever usually better than the film. But in this case, it is, and that's just because Rockstar did such an amazing job at capturing the entire feel. Everything about the film is pretty much in the game, but then it also fleshes the characters out. It also goes to build upon what was already established in the movie. You get all these backstories for the characters. You get to see all kinds of new gangs. You get to see a lot more story and things there. So it makes the experience overall even better. So yeah, if you like this movie, you owe it to yourself to check out the game. It's a great companion piece to the film. And another thing I'd recommend is even playing the game first, just because with all the extra story elements, it makes the overall experience a heightened one when you play the game. But let me see if there's any other things before I cut off and go to spoilers. And I don't really think that there is. It's just a really great film, cool era, good music, all that cool shit. And like I said, the game is just a really underrated game that deserves much more recognition, much more play, and, talked about. And I think a lot of people would enjoy it if they gave it a shot. But the film, I decided to give an 8.5, just really awesome. And the game, I would say, is a higher kind of rating. I didn't have a rating for the game. But yeah, I mean, the film, I gave an 8.5, and the game is even better than that because it's pretty much the movie, but with more things added, making it even better. So, 8.5, and I hope you guys have an awesome fucking day, but let's get into some spoilers now. So, the things I have put here is the fight scenes in particular that I really liked was the fight with the baseball furies is really a badass scene and everything in the park and stuff. The running, where they have to run a lot in this damn movie because they're being chased and overwhelmed constantly. But, that scene, the scene in the bathroom in the subway and shit is a really kick-ass fucking fight scene too. There's just a lot of really well-done fight scenes and, a lot of cool shit like that, cool weapons and stuff. The other thing I'd put is that, Cleon's death is really impactful in the game. In the movie, you don't really know the character or anything. So, I mean, while it's definitely, it sucks, in the game, you get, like I said, those impactful moments more so because in the game, you get to play the character, you get to be the characters, you get to know more of their story, their situation, their motivations. You get to really, be a part of that much more. And so in the game, when Cleon is killed, which in the movie, it's pretty much from the get-go, it's in the beginning. But in the game, there's this whole story arc that has been established and made, and you pretty much play as him for a good amount of that. And so it makes it like a crazy twist, a much more impactful moment when you play it in the game and you don't see it coming, because at least I didn't. That's another thing I'll mention, is I am, one of those people that played the game first. So Rockstar Games, didn't just make a great game, but they also helped to, let me learn of this movie and probably a lot of others as well. But, yeah, Cleon's death, other characters' deaths and, their downfalls and things are much more impactful when you play the game because you've spent more time with them all and you really, get that feel and everything. But another thing I thought was crazy is I guess there was also actually real gang members featured in this film as well as real police officers, which, probably went to make it more of an authentic feel a little bit. But yeah, overall, a great movie and an absolutely fucking amazing, underrated game. And I think that's sadly everything I have to say. I mean, it's not too much, I guess, to talk about other than it being fucking awesome and that you should definitely check out the game. I mean, the other thing that I'll say is, damn you, bitch. Okay. The other thing I guess I'd say is, I mean, even in the game, it has a co-op where you can, play with your friend or whatever. So you can play the whole story, like 2-player and stuff. And there's even, multiplayer mode and everything where you can kind of set up your own matches, make your own gangs and stuff. So it's really fun. There's a lot of content there, and it's a really rich, awesome experience to have. So yeah, highly rate the movie, especially the game, highly rate the game and stuff. Check them both out if they sound cool to you, if the story sounds cool and everything. But all right, that's all I have to say. I hope that you all have a fucking wonderfully amazing day. And this is Agony333 signing out. Peace, guys. Have an awesome one.